taking forever to load. Famous people in the 1920s. Al Capone. Al Capone was born on January 17, 1899 in Brooklyn, New York by an immigrant family. Al started his criminal career after he had quit school in the 6th grade and associated himself with a notorious street gang with Johnny Torrio being the leader in the street gang. In 1920, Torrio invitation, Al joined Torrio in Chicago, where he had become influential lieutenant in the Colosimo mob and working his way up to be the right hand and did everything in every given opportunity. In 1925, Al became the boss after Torrio had been wounded from an assassination attempt, and in that year he had retired and left many rivalries within the street gangs, and so he just lived life until in 1931, when the borough gets involved in his criminal record. They caught Al for tax evasion, and he was sentenced for 11 years in federal prison, fined $50,000 and charged $7,692 for court costs, in addition to $215,000 plus interest due on back taxes. On November 16, 1939, Al was released after serving his time. While incarcerated, he had been suffering from this derived from syphilis, which had made him mentally incapable of returning to gangland politics. He had the mindset of a 12-year-old. Al died on January 25th, 1947 due to a stroke. Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey was born on June 24th, 1895, Manassas, Colorado. Jack was known for his impressive boxing skills. He had competed to 1914 through 1927, and within those years, he had a total of 85 fights and 53 knockout wins. He was also known in the heavyweight division as a boy. Jack worked as a farmhand, miner, and was also taught how to box by his older brother. Growing up, he picked up fights for prizes while traveling for his family so that they could pick up work themselves. Where it all started with his career on Independence Day, 1919. Dempsey got his first big opportunity, a fight against world heavyweight champion Jess Willard, nicknamed the Great White Hope. Willard stood at 6'6", weighed in at 245 pounds. Jack stood at 6'1" and 187 pounds. No one in the boxing world thought Jack could stand a chance with the disadvantages of the size difference. Jack later on dominated Jess with the quickness and ruthless tactics, knocking Jess out in the third round, earning the World Heavyweight Champion title. Jack died May 31st, 1983, due to heart failure.
Henry Ford. Henry Ford was born on July 30th, 1863, and died on April 7th, 1947. He lived to be 83 years old. Before he started making automobiles, he crafted and built watches. While he was working as an engineer for the Edison Illuminating Company in Detroit, he built the quadricycle behind his shed, which was his first gasoline-powered horseless carriage. Then, in 1903, he established the Ford Motor Company, and then 5 years later, they produced the first Model T. Henry was 45 years old. Louis Armstrong. Louis Armstrong, nicknamed Satchmo Pops and later Ambassador Satch, was born on August 4th, 1901, and died on July 6th, 1971. He was 69 years old. He was most known for his songs like What a Wonderful World and Stardust. He had a rough early life. His dad was a factory worker and left his family soon after Louis was born. His mom often turned to prostitution, frequently left him with his maternal grandmother. He had to leave school during the 5th grade to begin working. A Jewish family gave him a job collecting junk and delivering coal. They also encouraged him to sing and often invited him to their home for meals. On New Year's Eve in 1912, he fired his stepfather's gun, and he was arrested on the spot. After that, he was sent to the Colored Waifs Home for Boys. When he got there, he started getting instruction on the cornet and fell in love with music. In 1914, he was released and he immediately began dreaming of a life making music. And this is our works cited page.